This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man charged in 2019 East Kingston murder. Detectives in the Kingston Eastern Division have cracked a cold case that has been under investigation for more than 2 years. On Tuesday, 22-year-old Daniel Williams, otherwise called Noah, a construction worker of St. Benedict Heights, Harborview in Kingston 17, was charged with the 2019 murder of Rohan Roberts, also of St. Benedict Heights. Reports from the Harborview police are that on May 19, 2019, about 8:55 p.m., Roberts was standing in his community when Williams and 2 other men allegedly opened gunfire at him, killing him. The men escaped on foot in the area. Williams was identified as one of the attackers, and he was subsequently arrested. He was charged on Tuesday, March 1, after a question-and-answer session. 3 teens charged with elderly man's murder. 3 teens have been charged with the murder of 62-year-old fisherman Delroy Walters, who was killed at his home in St. Elizabeth on Tuesday, February 22. Reports from the Black River Police are that about 6 a.m., a relative of Walters went to his home in Galleon Beach District and found that the house had been broken into. Checks were made and Walters was reportedly seen lying on his bed with wounds to his body. Walters was assisted to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The police said the teens were implicated in the investigation that followed, and on Tuesday, March 1, they were charged following a question-and-answer session in the presence of their parents and attorneys. Arrangements are being made for them to appear in the St. Elizabeth Family Court. Illegal gun seized in St. Elizabeth, man arrested. A man has been arrested in Broadleaf District, St. Elizabeth, following the seizure of an illegal firearm and ammunition. The police report that a team was on an operation about 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday when a premises that was occupied by the man was searched. According to the police, the firearm along with the ammunition was found in his possession. He was subsequently arrested. However, his identity is being withheld pending further investigations. UWI willing to accept students whose studies in Ukraine have been disrupted. The University of the West Indies, Mona, has made an offer to assist the Jamaican students who fled Ukraine in the middle of their medical studies because of the Russian invasion. Registrar at the UWI, Dr. Donovan Stanberry, confirmed on Tuesday that the university is exploring the possibility of academic placement at the level which the students were studying. Dr. Stanberry explained, however, that each situation will have to be analyzed to ascertain whether the student had met the matriculation hurdle of the UWI. He expressed the confidence, however, that they would most likely meet the required standard for the entry into the UWI's medical studies program, noted that some of them had even been offered places at the university prior to their decision to pursue their studies in Ukraine. He explained, though, that the UWI is not in a position to grant lower tuition fees to the displaced students. This, he said, was because of its own budgetary constraints and because it would present a moral dilemma to grant it to these students despite the peculiar nature of their current situation, since the last intake of students were not granted the same benefit. Jamaican students on their way home from Ukraine. 20 Jamaican students who are scheduled to arrive on the island on Wednesday, March 2, at the Saxor International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James, are on their way. The update was given Wednesday afternoon by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. Sharing the news via video on social media, the minister said, although their flight was a little delayed, 20 students are on their way to Jamaica, and again, I can't say it enough, we give thanks. Johnson-Smith also announced that the other students who were left behind are now all out of Ukraine and accounted for. I know some of you have been concerned and asking questions as to the well-being of the young lady who had left after everyone on her way from East Ukraine to Poland. So they're all out of Ukraine now, and we give thanks for that, even as we pray for the people of Ukraine who are having their lives terribly upended by this war, she said. On Tuesday, the minister announced that 21 of the 24 students who traveled by foot out of the war-torn Ukraine as bus plans were disrupted on Saturday night were expected to arrive on Wednesday. Johnson Smith also gave an update on the young lady's cat that is not being allowed to enter Jamaica right now because of the high incidence of rabies in Ukraine, noting that Jamaica is one of just a handful of countries in the world that has managed to eliminate rabies. The minister stressed that tight restrictions are very important to the health of both animal and people populations. However, she said she has made arrangements through the head of the Veterinary Services Division regarding the cat's potential journey to Jamaica. There happens to be a set of German veterinarians in Jamaica at this time, and linking through him and the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and the veterinary community, we have identified someone who can assist with placement of the cat at a facility in Germany where she would be able to go through the different stages necessary for her travel to Jamaica. So by now, they should have contacted her by email to let her know that the contact information of the person who can assist, and we do hope that the family will be able to take up their services, Johnson Smith said. Again, Jamaica, thank you for all your prayers. Please keep them up for the people of Ukraine, that there will be a sensational and a return to peace, the minister added. Portmore Municipal Corporation seeking to take charge of new Forum fishing village. A plan is being discussed for the transfer of ownership of the new Forum fishing village in Portmore St. Catherine to the municipal corporation. The fishing village is currently managed by the Urban Development Corporation. Leon Thomas, chairman of the Portmore Municipal Corporation, says the transfer will lead to better teamwork and the improved management of the facility. The police recently launched a beach watch program at the fishing village in response to complaints by fishers that they have been victims of theft. Mr. Thomas, who was speaking at a launch, said the municipal corporation will assist the police and the fishers to rid the area of criminals. We intend to give you our full support to make certain that this place is a better place. We intend not to have families here because we have seen where a lot of young ones are here that are not going to school, and we intend to change that, he added. He noted that the corporation will be enforcing the collection of vendor fees. Mr. Thomas also turned the spotlight on the Marine Police outpost at Jam World Fishing Village in Portmore. The police post was opened in 2013. However, Mr. Thomas said the presence of the police is not being felt, and so it needs support since it is one of the most critical areas within this municipality to prevent the illegal activity.
We have several discussions far advanced, and we are going to take it over so we can have proper management and better teamwork going forward, that fish can eat here, and also the man who just performed a while ago can perform to the powers that we will invite Robert here when we finish with this development. We intend to make certain that the criminals that you speak about don't have anywhere to stay here. We intend to give you our full support to make certain that this place is a better place. We intend not to have families here because we have seen where a lot of young ones that are here that are not going to school, and we intend to change that.
Family of missing St. Anne man pleads for his return. February 26 was the last time relatives of 65-year-old Clyde Taylor saw or heard from him. This has been the longest they have not been in touch with him, and it has been an organizing wait for news of his whereabouts. Taylor is the manager of Fisherman's Point Resort in Ocho Rios. His sister is Vanna Taylor, the resort's managing director and the chairman for the Ocho Rios Runaway Bay chapter of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association. Everybody is in shock. None of us expected something like this to ever happen. The strange thing also is that we can't find his car and all calls to his cell phone have gone unanswered. The more time passes, we get worried because with all that is going on in Jamaica right now, we have to be worried. His youngest daughter, Shamara, told the news. Even if my dad goes out at night, he would come home, or if something comes up, he would call to let us know what was happening. He always answers his phone, and if he doesn't, he always calls back, she added. The 31-year-old said the family is not aware of any medical condition which would cause her dad to stray. The only thing he has is high blood pressure, and he has it under control, so I don't think there is any sort of illness affecting him, she said. Before leaving his home in Salem, Runaway Bay, Clyde appeared to be perfectly fine, according to Shamara. He told his sister Vanna that he was heading out for a few hours. He was wearing a striped blue and orange long-sleeved shirt and blue jeans. My aunt saw him and he said he was going into Ochi to do something. She asked him if he was coming back and he said more than likely, Shamara told the news. As he usually does, Taylor checked in with the resort. A few hours after leaving home, he called and spoke with one of his employees. He usually checks on whoever is on the last shift, and he told her he was in Ochi, but he wasn't sure if he was going to stop by the hotel. So based on what we know, that was his last conversation, Shamara said. The distraught family is hoping for Taylor's safe return. Even if somebody robbed him, they can take whatever they want, but just send him home, please. We just desperately need him to come back, his daughter Shamara pleaded. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.